We are now going to go over the supplies that are needed for the eyelash lift procedure. You will need your cleanser, you will need your waving solution, you will need neutralizer, you will also need conditioner for after the eyelash lift procedure. You will need clamps or rods depending on the length of the eyelash and size of the eye. You'll also need toothpicks. You'll need some lash glue or adhesive, some cotton, and a headband, and you'll follow the regular draping for the bed as you would for a facial procedure. Okay, we're going to do the eyelash lift procedure. First step is we're going to wash and sanitize our hands, or we're going to wear gloves. Then you're going to have your client remove any contacts. Then you're going to cleanse the eyelashes and remove all eye makeup. Or you can ask the client to come with no makeup on their lashes. So we are using the cleanser. And when we cleanse, we've just applied the cleanser to cotton. You're going to approach your client. Then you are going to wipe in a downward, outward motion when you apply the cleanser. So a downward, outward motion. And do that to both eyes. So a downward, outward motion. The next step is we're going to apply a protective eye pad to the lower lashes, just so that we don't lift the lower lashes when we're lifting the upper lashes. So you're going to have the client go ahead and open their eye and look up of the upper lashes. This should be fine.
Go.
Alright, when you're selecting roller clamp size, there's a couple of different options. You can use the silicone rollers. You can also use the sticky cotton rollers, or you may use a clamp, an eyelash clamp, which is pretty similar to an eyelash curler. Any of those forms of rollers are acceptable. You'll want to pick the roller size depending on the length of the eyelash and the length of the eye. So sometimes if they've got a little bit smaller of an eye, the sticky ones will work better. If they have a little bit larger eyes, the silicone ones work a little bit better. And if they have long lashes, then the clamps work the best on longer lashes. So you will, and they're also different in thickness. You have a small, a medium, and a large, which the large is going to give you the greatest curl or the greatest lift, and the small is going to give you a little bit smaller lift. But you've got to pick them depending on length of the eyelash. So somebody with really long eyelashes, you could get away with the large. Somebody with not so long eyelashes, you'll have to use the small. You will want to pick.
No.
Okay, this client, the length of her eyelashes, we're going to go with medium. So we're going to want to make sure that the silicone pad will match the length of her eye, which it will. And then we're going to go ahead and put some glue, some of your lash lift bonding glue, on the back side of the silicone pad. Before we place it on her eye, and this is just to keep it in place, and you don't need a lot of glue. And then we're going to go ahead and place this on her eyelash, her eyelid actually. You'll want to hold the skin taut. We're going to place this as close to the lash line as possible. Making sure that it adheres. On the other eye, we're going to be using the clamp. To use the clamp, again, we're going to lift the eye. We're going to place it right on the eyelid, And then we're going to slide this up, just catching the hair, clamping it, and then locking the clamp in place. Now we're going to show you how to put on the cotton rod, which it's just a cotton rod. You'll want to measure the length of the lash, and you can cut it to fit the eyelid if necessary, but this rod is sticky, so you don't have to apply glue to the underside of it. And she's okay. And then you will lift the eyelid. You're going to place this rod as close to the lash line as possible and press. Alright, our next step is we are going to apply glue to the lashes, the lash bond again. Alright, so now once we have got the lash adhesive on the eyelash, you'll want to make sure that the eyelash is laying smooth and straight, because the way that it's laying is the way that it's going to lift or perm. How's that?
Roll in your toothpick in cotton to use as your apply sticks.
Alright, so you'll want to make a cotton applicator out of your toothpick. Next we're going to use the waving lotion, and we're going to apply it, and we're going to make sure that we do not double dip the waving solution. You want to make sure that you apply a good amount of the waving solution on your applicator. And then you're going to apply to the lash. Okay, so once you've applied the perm solution or the waving lotion with the applicator to the eyelashes, then you are just going to let it process. You can place some weighted cotton with water over the top of them just to kind of help keep the eyelashes down. but you do not want it too wet because you don't want to dilute your perm solution. And then we are just going to process. And after you are done processing, we will rinse. But while you are processing, you will do your scalp, hand, or arm massage. You will let this waving solution sit for about 15 minutes while you do that massage. Ready? Okay, after 15 minutes, we're going to remove the cotton. And then we are going to rinse. And it's normal to lose some adhesion from the glue at this point. So we'll rinse. And then we'll let them kind of dry for a minute, and then we'll apply more glue.
Like you don't.
Now you're ready to apply the neutralizer. You're going to apply the neutralizer the exact same way that you applied the waving lotion. Put a good coat. Make sure those lashes are straight because the bonds will reharden in the form that you leave them. And then we're going to place cotton over it just for added weight. Some damp cotton. And then we're going to let this process. We're going to let the neutralizer process for about 10 minutes. During that time, you're going to do a hand scalp massage.
Go.
All right, next you're going to remove the neutralizer. And remember, we're wiping up. So we will remove the neutralizer. Okay, then after you are going to apply the conditioning, and then you will cover it and you will let it sit for about 5 minutes. Okay, now you're going to remove the glue with an eyelash adhesive remover. You're just going to apply it. You're going to kind of work back and forth, loosening those eyelashes off of your rod. And then once they are loosened, you'll start from the outside edge, loosening the glue that's stuck to the eyelid. Then you'll continue to remove the glue.
Go.
Then we're going to rinse the eyelash a couple of times with just some water. We'll do the same for this eye over here. Then you're going to remove the tape. And then help the client up, and you are done with the service.